The Huntington's Disease Society of America, or HDSA, is a nonprofit serving people who are living with Huntington's disease and their families. The mission of the organization is to improve the lives of everyone affected by Huntington's disease and their families, and our vision is to get to a place where we're in a world that's free of Huntington's disease. HDSA approaches that from a number of different perspectives. We focus on care, cure or research, and then community. So really looking at how we can support the work that's being done in clinical centers, treating people who are living with HD. The work we can do in supporting research, both things that we do directly through HDSA and how we connect people to the larger research community. And lastly, I said community already, but it's connecting folks. Living with Huntington's disease can be an isolating experience. So we want to make sure that people know that there are resources available for them and ways for them to connect with other people who are in this community. My focus in working with HDSA as the Chief Mission Officer is to look at all of our different mission programs. And these are the things that we do to help people living with HD, to help make things better for people living with HD. And these include things like our research programs, our HDSA Centers of Excellence Network, educational programs and resources, social work. The HDSA Social Work Network is a great resource for people living with Huntington's disease. Our youth services and our National Youth Alliance is a great opportunity for folks who are younger, who are at risk or living in an HD home. Our disability program is something that is very unique to help people who are living with Huntington's navigate both the Social Security disability program, as well as think about how to best plan for their future with living with this disease. We have an active advocacy campaign focusing on right now, a piece of legislation called the HD Parity Act, which looks at the 2-year waiting period that people who are living with HD are required to go through before getting their healthcare or Medicare benefits once they're declared disabled. So trying to waive that, actively working on the HD Parity Act, but then other important topics related to legislation living with Huntington's disease, not just on the national level, but on the local levels as well. There's a lot of different things. As I've said, I think I tried to hit as many of them as possible, but really making sure that we are advancing research in Huntington's disease as best as possible, whether it is the work that we do directly through HDSA, encouraging people to be involved in research and educating them as to what's going on, focusing on clinical care, expanding our HDSA Center of Excellence network, strengthening it so that people don't have to go too far to be seen by a Huntington's disease expert. Continuing our education program. There are so many different aspects of living with Huntington's disease, and make sure that we provide resources for people, regardless of where they're at in their own journey, they'll be able to find some information. Focusing on our social services, making sure that our making sure that our social work network is strong, making sure that we have support groups available for people who are living with HD, making sure that we've got resources for young people living with HD, whether it's being part of the National Youth Alliance or tapping into our youth social worker program. Making sure that our disability programs and our advocacy efforts are ongoing, because this is something that is going to be continuing to be an issue as long as people are living with Huntington. So really focusing on energy on those things and expanding them as necessary.